Hello everyone, from today we are going to start a new series on C programming. And before jumping into the chapter directly, it is highly recommended that you watch my previous videos on hardware, on system software, and finally the application software. And before writing any software or going into the actual programming, you should consider the algorithm, then the flowchart, and finally the programming part. So I have made videos on all of these chapters, on all of these topics. So today our main focus will be on the on a brief history and the little background of C programming. So what is the history behind the C programming and the little background? So C is a programming language. As I said earlier, a programming language is nothing but any language that is understandable by the human being, and then we will use some kind of compiler or translation, some kind of translation program or compiler which will translate that program written in any programming language, and then finally convert that into the binary form or a series of binary digits or bits. So I also have given an analogy, an example of a programming language. Suppose we have a programming language that is A, and we are writing a program using that language. And finally, in order to run that program, in order to execute that program, because when we are writing a program that is not being executed, that is actually a script. We have a file, text file, where we are writing some lines of codes or statements or instructions. So this set of instructions or statements or codes, this will make the source code or source, and the source code written in that text file, that file will be called the source file. So now we need a one kind of translation program or compiler which will understand that language, the language what we have used to write that program. So this is the main reason, this is the main path of the actual compilation of a program. And this source file containing the source code, this can be written in any programming language. That could be C, D, E, F, C++, C sharp. It can be anything, even Hindi, Marathi, any language, Tamil, Telugu, this can be any language. But whatever the language is, we also need to design and develop the corresponding compiler for that. Because without a compiler, let's say we are writing just anything, we are writing randomly. We can write anything there, we can write anything, any text or any random words there, and we can say that this is a programming language. But this is not the case, because whatever you write there, they should follow some protocols, they should satisfy few rules. Like when we are talking about any human understandable language, that could be Hindi, English, or any language that we human beings use to communicate to each other, any language, they all follow some rules, they all follow some syntax, some grammatical rules. There are mainly grammatical rules. So all those rules, they should be satisfied, because if we do not follow those rules, if we violate those rules, then the sentence we are writing or things, phrases, they will not make any sense. So in this case also, in case of programming languages, this can be any language, but the language should follow the correct grammatical syntax and rules. Syntax means the rules to write. There are some protocols, there are some rules and some methodologies which we should follow during the programming. So, and those rules are well defined in the particular programming language what we are using. So in case of C, D, E, F, or Hindi, English, any language, it will definitely have those rules defined. If you are making a new programming language like say Z, then you first have to uh, check all of these languages, their grammatical structures, their syntaxes, keywords. Keywords are the reserved words, and numbers of predefined functions. Those are not that much mandatory, because if you do not provide any predefined function, the user should have some way to. You should provide that user. You should provide functions or methodologies to them so they can write their own functions. So it is not that there are not fixed numbers of languages. There can be any number of languages. Even you can write your own programming language, but you need to keep one thing in mind, that you should first you should compare all of these languages. You should study all of these programming languages, their grammatical structure, and number of keywords they have, number of predefined functions they have, and all of the other rules, other programming capabilities, and language structure, language design, and its limitation. You will have to study all of these things for every programming languages that we are given, that we have as an option. So we are required to study all of those languages. There are plenty of languages out there. There are many languages. If you open Wikipedia and write computer languages, programming languages in the URL in Wikipedia, then you will get to know there are a lot of programming languages. So first you will have to study all of those languages, the grammatical rules, number of predefined functions, number of types of variables, and if they support, how many of them support structure, union, pointer, and concepts that C has. And not all other languages have this concept, but they have some counterparts for these concepts. So it is not mandatory that all the languages will share same concepts, but they should be capable of doing the same thing. If I'm doing this thing in my own way, this may be the case that you are not following my methodology or my concept. I'm following A language and you are following Z language. That is totally fine, but you should make sure that the way I'm following, the way is not mandatory. The result what I'm getting, what the result I want to achieve, and I'm getting using by applying my methodology and all those functionalities that my language is providing to me. And you are using a different language, Z language, so both languages A and Z both are different languages. So the options, functionalities that A is providing to me will not be same as Z. Z will provide you different set of options, functionalities, programming patterns, and because the structure and design, architecture, number of predefined functions, types of variables or data types, and data type means when I'm talking about data type, it's primitive and non-primitive, primary and secondary data types, and all of those things, structure, union, pointers, they come into the secondary type or user defined type. They are not predefined types. So, and the data structures that is supported by that language, there are a lot of these things should be considered while choosing a programming language or designing a programming language. You can achieve the same goal, you can achieve the same result, or you can develop a program with same set of requirements in any language, but there will be some efficiency difference. Means, let's say I have 3 features, 1, 2, 3, and I'm using C language to fulfill these requirements. So in case of C, okay, I have achieved these results, and you are using Z or A language or any other language you have also achieved these results, but there will be a difference in efficiency. Means this could happen that I have achieved these results in very small time, and you have achieved this result after 2 weeks or 3 weeks of continuous development, rigorous development, while I have achieved them in 3 days or 2 days. So this is what makes the difference between the programming languages. While choosing a programming language, which language to use, or while designing or designing a new language, then you also should consider these things. And in order to do that, to understand, you will be only able to compare when you will try all of those languages. First, you will have to try all of these languages. What are the positivities and negativities of these languages, advantages or disadvantages, and what are the set of capabilities it has, the functionalities, and what are the uh, magic features. Magic features means, as I said, given this example, not all programming language are used for all programs, all problems. It means you will not use C programming to solve all kinds of problems, because of that efficiency factor and time requirement factor. Many factors are there, and after considering all of these things, we come up with a decision that we should use this language to solve this particular problem. So in case of C language, C was developed by the Ken Thompson mainly, and but people say that C is developed by the Dennis Ritchie. That is also true, but Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson, they were both colleagues of each other. They were working in Bell Laboratories, and Dennis Ritchie and Ken Thompson, they both were American computer scientists. He was working for a long time in Bell Laboratories, and he was working on an operating system. It was not Unix, but it was similar like that. He was working on an operating system, and in order to develop the design and develop that application, not design, in order to develop that application, Ken Thompson, he solely written the B language, the predecessor of C language. The B language was the predecessor of C language, and which was developed by the Ken Thompson. Ken Thompson was working on an operating system, and he realized that in order to he completed the design part, but in order to convert that design into reality or into the complete digital product or the operating system he was trying to build, he needs some kind of programming language. And being said that, he come up with the B language, so which was again the predecessor of C language, and he was working, but he was not. As the time went, he realized that this is not the perfect language for writing systems. So there also Dennis Ritchie was working, and both of them, they were working on an operating system which was different then. That was not that operating system that Ken Thompson was working. So they came up with a new project, which was the Unix operating system. And that Unix operating system, both of them, they were working together, Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie. And Dennis Ritchie was the one who gave more time to develop the C program rather than working on Unix. Unix was the thing that the design part, and the most of the time in Unix system development, it was contributed by the Ken Thompson. And Ken Thompson was working on the Unix project, but the main instrument which was required to develop that Unix system was the C program, because B was the predecessor, and B, they were not satisfied the B language. So Dennis Ritchie, he started developing an a new programming language. So here the idea comes that Dennis Ritchie was working with Ken Thompson. Ken Thompson, he decided to develop a new programming language which was C language. And after the development of C language, Ken Thompson and Dennis Ritchie, both of them, it was a mutual work. They both worked on this project, and this project is known as Unix. Unix was later improved by Linus Torvalds, which is called Linux. So Linux is based on Unix, and the Unix was totally written in C. Unix was totally written in C programming language. So this is a brief history of C programming, and this thing is the how the compilation process works. And also I said what is a compiler, and what is a source file, what is a source code, what is an object file, and the object code, and how the operating system does the rest of the job, and finally how the thing is executed by the processor. This doesn't really directly go to the CPU. Here one more thing will come, that is the primary memory, where we load the series of bits into the RAM, and then RAM will feed to the CPU. So this is the thing. So in this series, what I have just started in this series is about C programming language, and in this series I will be making many videos, and most of the videos they are practical, so I will have to do them practically. So in that case, being said that, I will have to write programs in my computer, and so all of those sessions they will be in computer. So I will be sharing my screen, and also I will be providing these whiteboard sessions where I will be discussing about the theory part. I will be talking about the lengthy things about those all the basic concepts, all those theories